Good morning, students. Today, in our social science class, we are going to start our history new chapter. Name of the chapter is Nationalism in India. Now, first of all, we should know what is nationalism. Indian nationalism refer to many underlying forces that molded the Indian independence movement and strongly continue to influence the policies of India, as well as being the heart of many contrasting ideologies that have caused ethnic and religious conflict in Indian society. Indian nationalism often mimics the consequences of India's that prior to 1947. Here, what they are saying that Indian nationalism it is mainly related to the independence of our country and the movement which were fought for the freedom of our country. This nationalism not only united the whole country, but people came together from different religion, different caste, and the ethnic groups to fight for the freedom of the country. And the result was in 1947 we got the independence. Now, you know that in India, the growth of modern nationalism is connected to the anti colonial movement. People began discovering their unity in the process of their struggle with colonialism. The sense of being opposed under colonial power was common to different classes, but each class and group felt the effect of colonialism differently. The Congress, under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, tried to unite these groups together within one movement. Now, after this, our first topic is the First World War. Now, the First World War played an important role in shaping India's freedom struggle and developing new modes of struggle in the following ways. That means what they are trying to say that the First World War, which was fought in 1914, this war played a very important role in bringing together and in progress of India's freedom struggle. Increase in defense expenditure due to the war led to the increase in taxes, custom duties, prices, and the introduction of war loans. That means because of the war, British government had increased taxes on all the centers and on all the societies, different works of the people, in taxes on different commodities, taxes on custom duties, and taxes, or we can say introduction of war loan. That means loan that is given for the war. During the First World War, prices increased dramatically. That means the prices of the products it almost got doubled, which led to extreme hardship. That means people had to work more to pay the taxes. Poverty and forced recruitment in army made people hostile to the British rule. That means because of the increase in the tax, poverty also increased. Many people lost their jobs and they were forced to join the British Army. During 1918, 19 and 1920-21, food shortage due to the failure of crops and famines and epidemic that took a heavy toll of life created resentments among the people of India against the foreign rules. Here, what they are saying that during the period of 1918 and 19 and 1920 and 21, there was lot of shortage of food because of the failure of the crops. Crops were destroyed. A famine was there, a famine that is called in हिंदी अकाल. उसके कारण सूखा पड़ा, पानी न गिरने के कारण सूखा पड़ा और कई बीमारियां भी फैल गई, जिसके कारण लोगों को कड़ी मशक्क़त करनी पड़ी, मेहनत करनी पड़ी। और इन परिस्थितियों में भी ब्रिटिशर्स ने भारतीयों का साथ नहीं दिया, इसीलिए भारतीयों के मन में ब्रिटिशर्स के प्रति आक्रोश फैल गया। After that, we have the next movement, that was Satyagraha, started by Gandhiji. The idea of Satyagraha emphasized the power of truth and the need to search for truth. It suggested that if the cause was true, if the struggle was against injustice, then physical force was not necessary to fight the opposer. Gandhiji believed Satyagraha could unite all Indians. Here, what they are saying that the idea of Satyagraha was the main power of Gandhiji. He said, सत्य की राह पर चलने के लिए जो आंदोलन करा जाता है उसे कहते हैं सत्याग्रह। अगर आप सच्चे हो, ईमानदार हो और अन्याय के प्रति लड़ते हो तो आपको सफलता ज़रूर मिलेगी और अपोजिट जो पार्टी है उसको झुकना पड़ेगा। एंड दिस सत्याग्रह ब्रॉट all the people together and united them. Now, after that, we have application of Gandhiji's Satyagraha. That means in 1916, Gandhiji organized a Satyagraha against the oppressive plantation system in Champaran. In 1917, Gandhiji led a Satyagraha in Khedar, district of Gujarat, demanding relaxations of the revenue tax owing to the poverty experienced by farmers because of the outbreak of plague and crop failure. In 1918, Gandhiji organized a satyagraha against the cotton mill workers in Ahmedabad. Here, what they are saying, these were the movements that was started by Gandhiji in opposition of British rule. That means in 1916, Champaran farmers were forced to grow the opium. In 1917, Gandhiji fought against the increased taxes of by the Britishers to reduce the price and and to give them the profit. He was also against the increased price because the crops were failed due to famine and because of the plague, the epidemic disease that spread in that area. In 1918, Gandhiji organized a satyagraha that was against the cotton milk because the workers were not paid the correct price of their physical work. That means जो वो मेहनत कर रहे थे उनका असल दाम उनको कीमत उनको नहीं दी जाती थी और साथ साथ में उनसे ज़्यादा समय के लिए काम कराया जाता था. After that, we have the Rowlatt Act. In 1919, the Rowlatt Act was passed by British government. This act gave the government enormous power for repressing political activities and followed detention of political prisoners for 2 years without any trial. Here they are saying that this Rowlatt Act, it was passed by the Britishers. According to this act, they can punish any person who is being arrested and send him to jail without any trial. Now, what was the opposition? On 6th April 1990, Gandhiji started the non-violence civil disobedience movement for opposing the Rowlatt Act with a nationwide hartal. Shops were closed down, rallies were organized, and rail workshop workers went on strike. On 10th April 1919 in Amritsar, widespread attack on bank, post office and railway station took place. Now, what was the Britishers' response towards these movement? The government brutally repressed the nationalists. That means they were treating and torturing the nationalists. Martial law was imposed and General Dyer took command. That means without permission, no one can come out of their houses, no one can organize the rallies, and General Dyer was called as the commander in chief of that place. Hope you have understood this chapter. Today, this much we will continue in the next class. Thank you.